Hello and welcome to this video about finding the surface area of a rectangular prism. So let's say we have a rectangular prism that is 8 by 5 by 3. Now, one thing I like to suggest to do to kind of help make it easier is to find the net for the 3D object. And a 3D object is where we take this object, what we're going to do is we're going to open it up and see what it looks like in 2D. Now, a lot of students struggle with visualizing that. So what I did is I made a little copy of this prism using graph paper. And then I color coded it so we can see it. So here we have 8 by 5, and then here we have the 3 part. You can see that using the graph paper, kind of with the lines of the graph paper. Now, when it comes to making the net, it really helps to kind of, like I say, pick a side and then try to open it up from there. So I'm going to use that green side, and I want to open up this top part, or the part that's next to it, which is this side. And then next to my 8 by 5 green side, I had the top part, which is an 8 by 3, but I also have the bottom part, which is another 8 by 3. Now, oftentimes students will just pop out the 2 other sides and be like, boom, I made my net. All right, and these sides being sort of these sides right here. But they forgot that you have another green piece on the bottom, and that's connected to that 8 by 3. And now here I have my net. And now that I have my net, I can find the actual area of each one of those pieces. But let me just kind of show you that again one more time. So what I'm gonna do is I'm gonna kind of like hold it up like this, all right? I'm gonna ignore the side pieces as much as possible. What I think is really helpful is to open it up into a nice big rectangle like that. And so if I were to draw this out on my own, I'm gonna start with that main face, which was for me was this face right here. All right, that's my 8 by 5. When I go to open it up, I know that above it is another face that's a different, has different dimensions. It's still 8 here, but now this is 3. Again, I'm gonna open it up beneath it, and I should have another 8 by 3. And then down here, open that up, I have an 8 by 5. Now, the way to look at this is we have one big rectangle broken up into 1, 2, 3, 4 smaller rectangles. And then I can open up my sides and get the 5 by 3, 5 by 3. And then this is my 5th face, and this is my 6th face. And so I have a total of 6 faces. Now I can calculate the area of each one of these. So what I'll do is I'll actually do it on my sheet of paper right here. So my 8 by 5, that's 40. This guy has a twin that's also 40. My 8 by 3 is 24. And this is 24 as well. Then I have a 5 by 3, which is 15 and 15. Bring it all together. Let me write it all out so we can make sure we don't make any errors. 40 plus 40 is 80, plus 24 plus 24, which is 48. I'll combine those together real quick to get 128. And then 15 and 15 is 30. So I'll take my 128, I'll add 30 to that, and then I have 158. And there, I calculated my surface area by getting the net. Again, when it comes to getting the net, I think it's really useful to think about unfolding a piece. So you kind of pick a side, you're like, all right, this is where I'm gonna start. And then I'm gonna go what's up above it, what's below it, and then realize there's kind of a pattern where we're alternating from pink, green, green. Once I've got that big rectangle, then I can put the other 2 sides out there. So hopefully this has helped explain. Now I want to do an example video of finding the surface area for this rectangular prism. So 2 ways we're going to do it. First way, I'll show you the idea of like going with a net. All right, now this one's a little bit tricky because it is tall. All right, and sometimes that can throw students off. What I'm going to do is do the same thing I was kind of doing with my little 3D rendering, if you will. So this is 2 by 7. I'm choosing to focus on this guy right here. So that's 2 by 7. Well, now I got to think, what are the dimensions of the things that are around it? So right here above it, I'm going to draw this guy up. And it's not going to be the perfect net, but it's going to be a great visualization for how it actually works. So this is still 2, but it's no longer 7, it is 6. And the thing is, there's another one that's underneath that I can't quite see. So I'm going to also draw it right here. So what I'm doing is I'm trying to unfold it based off of this piece right here. I picked that as my main spot. That's my center spot. And so I've gone above, I've gone below. Now let's go to the left, which I can see is this piece right here. And so that's going to be this way. And it's going to be a 7 by 6. All right, because I see that this is 7 tall, but there's a 6 right there. And again, so that's opening up this piece on the left-hand side. I know there's a twin on the right-hand side. And so 6 and 7. Finally, I have to do, or realize that there's another blue one back here that I can't quite see. So that's gonna go, it's connected to this red piece, so I'm gonna put it underneath. And again, that's a 2 by 7, just like my original piece I had at the beginning. Well, now that I have the net, I can look at each piece individually. So this is the top rectangle here is 2 by 6, which is 12. This blue one is 2 by 7, which is 14. This other blue one's also 14. The other red one is 12. The green ones are 7 by 6, so that's 42 and 42. And now add them all up. And what I'm just going to do is I'm going to double up each of these because I do notice there's 2 42s, there are 2 12s, and there are 2 14s. So at least I'll double them up first and then kind of take it from there. So 42 plus 42 is 84. Then I'll have 24 and 28. I'll combine 28 plus 24. And let's see, that gives me 2, carry a 1, so that should be 52. And then I'll go 84 plus 52, which is 6, and then 13. So my final answer here is 136 units squared. Now, let me show you one more way of doing this. So when it comes to a rectangular prism, they have a nice little formula, which is 2 times length times width plus length times height plus width times height. And essentially what I want to do is I want to take my 3 numbers that I have, my 7, my 2, and my 6, and I just want to put them in pairs. That's all I need to do. All right, so I'm going to go with 2, my outside parenthesis, and then I'm going to start combining them. I'll go 6 times 2 plus 6 times 7 plus 2 times 7. And if we look at it, each one of these is a combination, a different combination of those 3 numbers. 6 and 2, 6 and 7, 2 and 7. And then continue my work, times by 2, or so my 2 outside my parentheses, do my multiplication. I have 12 plus 42 plus 14, which should look familiar because we have it right here. Add those up. So let's do a little bit of scratch work here. 14 plus 12 is 26. And then go 42 plus 26. Let's see, so that's 8. And we're gonna, no, we don't carry a 1. And that's 6. So we're gonna go 2 times 68, which gives us 136. So either way, you can find the surface area by either coming up with the net or using the formula. Ultimately, it boils down to what is easier for you. What do you feel like you can be the most consistent with? So hopefully this has illuminated the process a little bit more for you. Good luck with your homework or practice, and let me know if you have any questions.